friends, welcome, welcome. Today, I am going to share with you a story of the funniest ballroom dance costume snafu I have ever seen in person. And this happened at a professional show I was hired to do. So as a pro dancer, they'll often pay you to come in and perform for a company party or maybe a ballroom comp, or in this case, it was a competition. And there were two couples there. So we were one of two couples performing. And when you do shows, the audience loves to see different costumes. And this lady, you have a ton. So between each number, you run backstage, do a quick change, and then you run back out and do the next show. And in our case that night, we decided that, we would do 5 dances, they would do 5 dances, and we would just, my friend and I, she will remain nameless, changed backstage. Our partners would just answer questions on the floor, which we almost always do anyway, because we usually perform just as one couple and not a bunch of couples. And the audience always fills that time with, really interesting questions, the typical things that non-dancers want to know. What do you eat? How do you exercise? How long have you been dancing? Yada, yada. So, backstage between numbers, she and I helped each other change. So when you do these quick changes, you either bring a student or a friend back there to help you change really fast. Just so the audience isn't sitting and waiting for half an hour where you try and monkey around with, a hook on the back of your middle of your back or something. So she finishes her first number, which I watched. And of course, we both, bolted back to the backstage to change, and she bursts out sobbing. And she's like, "Oh my God, I can't go back there. I can't go back out there." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I saw the number look fine to me." And she's like, I was really hot under those lights when we were out there warming up. So I decided to remove my underwear and Spanky Pants. So when you dance, I know it looks like we may be going commando because sometimes the Spanky Pants are flesh tone, but I assure you it is not like a Scottish kilt, okay? We have underwear on and then what's called either a bodysuit that's built into the costume, or if there's not a bodysuit, which is fine, then you wear what's called Spanky Pants. They're like, I'll say grandma panties. They're very modest underwear. You wouldn't want to wear a string bikini or something out there. That would not be tasteful. So anyway, she went out there and did her pro show commando. And as you know, when you wear a ball gown, a costume with feathers on the trim, when you do any sort of traveling action and rotational action, that thing goes whoosh and flares up and exposes nether regions, which is not a problem when one wears their Spanky Pants. And she's like, "I can't go out there. I flashed the audience. I can't do it." And I assured her, you know what? I saw the whole thing. It did look to me like you were dancing very conservatively and a little slower than usual. But I saw nothing. And, certainly we all know as pros, when we do a show for an amateur audience, they're not as hypercritical as we are. Certainly of ourselves, right? So short of falling down, I'm sure it looked amazing to the audience. And she was rotating so tight and had her arms down. Nothing showed, but I nearly died in hysterics laughing. Now, I would certainly not have laughed had she actually flashed someone, but I just found this to be the funniest thing in the history of dancing, that open professional dancer would not think of this when going out and performing. So ladies, word of advice. When you perform, when you compete, do not go commando. So anyway, I thought you would get a kick out of that story. I still chuckle to this day. And if you enjoy kind of ballroom dance info and stories, please subscribe to my channel. If you have questions, ask them below. I answer all of them. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I am going to post a couple more videos on my personal embarrassing experiences with costume snafus that I think you'll really enjoy. So have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.